Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther is definitely another big movie within not only the MCU, but just pop culture in general, with being like the first black director for the MCU and then mostly all black cast, and then just the culture phenomenon that it did for African Americans and everything that it did for box office wise, Academy Awards, historically, culturally significant movie, and first superhero movie, first Marvel movie to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture. So yeah, overall, I think it's really, really cool how that was all established. But yeah, to get into the movie itself, right off the bat, we have the whole backstory of how vibranium was like a meteor that was in space that kind of crashed down into Earth, not only Earth, but also within the heart of Africa. And then how the Wakandans used vibranium to start up the technology to kind of make their society more advanced. So that was really cool to finally see that backstory. And then this movie kind of takes place a couple days after the whole fallout of Civil War, where in that movie, King T'Chaka was killed off by Baron Zemo in an explosion during the whole UN signing, and how T'Challa had to become the new Black Panther and the new King of Wakanda. And the whole first like half hours, like the whole ritual process of going to like Warrior Falls and having to challenge different tribal leaders for a title of Black Panther, meeting the new characters like M'Baku, who challenges him, who T'Challa defeats and retains the title of Black Panther. We have like Nakia and Okoye and Shuri and Ramonda and all these different characters who will become important later on. And yeah, it's kind of cool just seeing like the whole just kind of like Wakandan culture of like how someone becomes Black Panther, how they drink the heart-shaped herb and then they go to the ancestral plane and then meet their different ancestors to get like advice. So I thought that was really cool. We also get reintroduced to previously established characters like Ulysses Claw, who was established in Age of Ultron. We get his whole resolution. And then we also get introduced to the character of Killmonger and how his father, N'Jobu, was working together with Claw in order to transport weapons from Wakanda to the US in order to have African American people be able to protect themselves from the man. So I thought that was an interesting storyline. But then obviously, we get to the midway point where Killmonger ends up killing Claw and his other teammates and then uses his body as a way to get into Wakanda, and how he kind of reveals himself as being the son of N'Jobu, and that how he has a right for the throne, and how he challenges T'Challa in the ritual combat, defeats him, and then becomes a new king, and then how things go awry after that. But yeah, I think I like the first half more than the second half. But once we have that kind of whole camera motion of things going upside down, it's like I was really on Killmonger's side. Then after that, kind of just went crazy with power, and then just wanted to take over the world, which is kind of a bummer, because after that just kind of becomes like a typical Marvel movie where we have like the good guys and the bad guys fighting each other, and then T'Challa finally defeats Killmonger in a pretty bad CGI battle, but then understands his whole position. Something that Nikhil was saying all along was that we should open our borders to the rest of the world and then share our resources with them, because we're this advanced society. We shouldn't just keep everything hidden with ourselves. We need to share it with the rest of the world. So then Black Panther and Okoye and Nakia go before the UN and then tell the rest of the world that Wakanda isn't just this third world country, that it's actually this thriving, prosperous nation. We're going to share our resources with the rest of the world. And at the very end, where T'Challa and Shuri are kind of looking at the old apartment that N'Jobu was killed in by T'Chaka, and we're going to make it a resource center, and we're going to provide resources for these kind of impoverished neighborhoods. I thought that was really cool ending, really cool theme that they established in this, and kind of established T'Challa as this amazing hero. That little boy at the very end, it was like, who are you? And then he kind of just like smiles. Tony Stark would probably say, I am Iron Man, but T'Challa has this very like humbleness, and he's just kind of like just grinning and just accepting it. So I thought overall amazing movie. And then obviously we had the post-credit scene of Shuri and Bucky doing the whole rehabilitation process, and then him becoming the White Wolf, who gets brought up later on in Infinity War. So it's kind of cool seeing that whole tie-in and connection, because obviously we get into Infinity War in the next movie, and then the Wakandans are going to become a very important part of that. So it's kind of cool seeing it being established in this movie and then getting the payoff in Infinity War.